And now it's time for the first musical break of the evening. Our guest today is America's foremost country singing economist.
Possibly
or economist,
the only one.
country, maybe the only one. You might know him from his smash hit that came out during the crisis, Inflation or Deflation, which asked the crucial question, would we be more like Zimbabwe or Japan? And so far I think Japan is winning. He has some new numbers. Live from Nashville, Tennessee, Merle Hazard.
Thank you, Joe and Tracy, for that very kind introduction. Your mic on there?
Howdy.
All right. Y'all ready to hear some down-home music about high finance? Well, my name is Merle Hazard, and that's Hazard with a Z as in zero interest rate policy. The songs that I've done over the last 12 years or so since the crisis have been about economics, finance, banking, derivatives, and asset-backed securities. They're songs about life. And people do sometimes ask me how a country singer from Nashville could kind of get into that kind of thing, but to me it really just comes natural. My daddy was a coal miner, and my mama was a supervisor in compliance at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. Now this first song I want to do is on a monetary topic, and it's seigniorage. And if I said seigniorage, I'm not going to quiz anybody, but does that mean a lot, a little, or nothing? Okay, so for some of you, it's a new topic. Basically, when a government produces its money supply, it makes a profit. Could be an emperor in ancient times, a king, queen, modern government. They could be stamping coins with images. They could be printing paper. They could be doing it electronically. They make a profit. They use it in part to pay their army. And now central banks actually buy securities and make interest and dividends on this created money, and that's seigniorage. So I figured that's a pretty good topic for a song. And it's to the tune, I'm going to use an old melody you may recognize. It's by a guy named Harry Warren, who's been gone for decades. But Junior, you ready? Oh, this is my son, Merle Jr., accompanied on guitar. And you ready to do that, seigniorage?
I'm ready.
All right. All the money you print and the coins that you mint, that's seigniorage. On as much as you may, there's no interest to pay, that's seigniorage. From the hills to the plains, like a dream of John Keynes, it's state income. Every central bank knows that as M0 grows, they can make some. Even gangsters with cash in an illegal stash, that's seigniorage. For a central bank earns as the black market churns, this is true. Money's value is strange. It's a means of exchange and of storage. That is how central banks printing dollars and francs earn seigniorage. Yes, seigniorage. That's seigniorage. Thank you. Thank you. What'd you think?
It's a much better response than we got at the Cracker Barrel in Chattanooga.
It is. So I hope y'all are watching the PBS series on country music that just started up. It's really good. And, I love Nashville, where I live, and where Merle grew up. He lives here now. But, Nashville, we got hot chicken. We've got the Grand Ole Opry. And we've got the headquarters of Alliance Bernstein. It's pretty much everything a man needs. Let's see. One thing I love about country music is you can take an idea, the kind of idea you wake up in the middle of the night, you might forget when you wake up or dimly recall, but if you write down a few words and make them rhyme, put a few chords on it, you've got something. Well, that's what I try to do with this next song, and it's called The Fed is Watching the Market. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. The Fed, the 1, 2, 3, 4. The Fed is watching the market. The market is watching the Fed. It's a game of follow the leader, but I can't tell which one is being led. The Fed is watching the market. The market's watching back in return. Fundamentals are in tatters. I'm not sure it even matters what companies possess or what they earn. The Fed is watching the market. They're trying to protect us from shocks. When they speak of financial conditions, I'm thinking they really mean stocks. The Fed is watching the market. The market is returning its gaze. It makes some people wealthy, yet still it feels unhealthy when price and value part ways. The Fed believes in free markets, except not the market for cash. It helps to make bubbles more likely when you cut rates at the first sign of a crash. The Fed is watching the market, but is there any bit of meat left in the soup? Incentives are perverse if valuation is recursive. We're caught in a financial feedback loop. Yes, we're caught in a financial feedback loop. Yes, we're caught in a financial feedback loop. Yes, we're caught in a financial feedback. I think you got the idea. Thank you. Thanks all. Thank you. Well, we're going to do one more song for you, and if you're getting into these songs, check out the website, merlehazard.com. There are songs on YouTube. There's some streaming things, Spotify and Apple Music, and even on iTunes. So if you've got, the holidays are coming up, and if you've got colleagues at the financial firms where some of you work and they are intellectual and mildly depressed, I'm told this will cheer them up. You may cement a friendship or get a promotion or something out of it. So this next song is about the statutory framework under which the Federal Reserve operates, the U.S. Central Bank. Yeah, it's a good topic. So I respect central bankers. They have a really hard job in any country. I think they have an perhaps even harder job in the U.S. because the statute gives them two conflicting goals. And imagining myself in that position, I wrote this lament of the American central banker, which we'll finish up with, and the title is Dual Mandate. Junior? It's awfully hard to be a central banker. Rich folks like to see the currency strong, but the average Joe's not overjoyed if he's destitute and unemployed. Seems like every time I choose, I'm choosing wrong. The right says I should tighten up on credit, not Donald Trump, but most of the right, to keep the risk of inflation nice and low. While the left and many economic scholars are urging me to print more dollars, I'm torn between the two ways I could go. I've got a dual mandate. Dual mandate. I gotta keep prices stable while giving jobs to those who are able. Dual mandate. Dual mandate. My job is harder than you'll ever know. Unlike here in the U.S., the Bank of England has it relatively easy.
Bank of England.
And so I hear, does Europe's ECB.
European Central Bank.
Their goal is for stable price. That's simpler and must be nice. A single mandate, unlike poor, unlucky me. 'Cause I've got a dual mandate. Dual mandate. I gotta solve labor's troubles without creating financial bubbles. Dual mandate. Dual mandate. It's tough for me to make our economy grow. My job is harder than you'll ever know. All right, thank you all very much. It's great to be here.